What is your favorite food? And who is your favorite foul-mouthed master chef?
Don't with me. You guys look like a bunch of idiots.
You're in denial.
If you're here, you answered pizza and Gordon Ramsay consecutively. Well, we would just like to congratulate you on your superior tastes. Today, we are going to look at 10 of the best pizza moments involving Gordon Ramsay. What could be better than that? If you love all things awesome and fun, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you really love all things awesome and fun, take it one step further and click on the notification bell. How to make margarita pizza at home. How many of us would like to be able to cook as well as Gordon Ramsay himself? We know we would.
All those breadcrumbs are sticking right into the chicken. Get that done literally 10 minutes before you cook it, and those breadcrumbs stay on there.
Alternatively, imagine how cool it would be to have a meal cooked by Mr. Bad Boy Chef himself. His cooking must be incredible to have gotten himself this far. Of course, these two concepts have been reserved to daydreams by many. But what if Ramsay showed you how to cook something? It would sort of be like he was cooking for you, and you would learn how to cook like him. Well, imagine no more. Gordon Ramsay has released a few quick kitchen and cooking tips with his fans. If you love pizza, then you can learn how to make one the way Ramsay does.
Add olive oil to a hot pan and put in the pizza dough.
He keeps it simple without dumbing it down. The entire experience is like being on MasterChef Junior. You know, being judged by Ramsay without being called
an idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich, Chef Ramsay.
It is a lovely experience from start to finish, and you get to enjoy the product afterwards. Become a master pizza maker in less than an hour. Pantaleone's Makeover. One of Ramsay's biggest successes is Kitchen Nightmares. Ramsay and his crew go to struggling businesses and give them a total overhaul. They look at why the restaurant is failing and how it can be fixed. One such restaurant was Pantaleone's, a restaurant that claimed to have the best pizzas in Denver, but Ramsay found the worst pizzas in Denver. Watching him eat the items from the menu are a little disturbing.
Oh my God. Dripping in grease.
To top it all off, the owner was adamant that he was doing nothing wrong.
I don't know what the chef is talking about, and a lot of people love it. I eat it.
Fast forward an episode, and Ramsay has worked magic. The owner, whose thin crust pizza looked like a massive baguette, promised to change his ways. Ramsay even designed a magnificent menu for them, and all was well.
I never thought I'd see Pete change. I think he's more open to listening and working with his family.
The problem with Kitchen Nightmares is often the owner, and not some tragic circumstances. These restaurants have been run into the ground by proud and irresponsible owners, in most cases. Take Pantaleone's, for example. As soon as Ramsay left Denver, the owner went right back to making his undercooked baguette pizza bases. But hey, whatever works for you, man. No pineapple on pizza. There has been a debate raging for almost as long as people decided to put toppings on pizza. What a glorious day that was. People have been debating whether pineapple belongs on a pizza or not. What is your personal opinion?
These flavors are perfect together.
The debate was raging fiercely, and there were many wounded egos, and then Ramsay spoke up about it. One night, while hosting The Nightly Show, he decided to order pizza for the audience and have the delivery guy deliver it to the studio while they were filming. When he called the pizza place, he asked for some topping suggestions from the audience.
Let's have 10 of the pepperonis.
How many pepperonis, sir?
Put pineapple on a pizza.
He genuinely looked horrified and wondered several times why anyone would willingly put pineapple pizza in their mouth. Long story short, he did not order the pineapple pizza.
What the are you doing?
The poor guy who delivered the pizza was in for a bit of a shock when he walked into a studio that was live on the air. On the bright side, he met some famous people and got to sit in Ramsay's chair. He also mentioned that it was his first day on the job, which means he wins the award for most memorable first day ever.
What's the secret behind them?
Me?
The weirdest pizza I've ever seen. What is the weirdest pizza you have ever seen? The weirdest pizza we have ever seen was a so-called fruit pizza, which went down as well as it sounds.
Say a little prayer.
Trust me, I already said a prayer today.
During one of the Kitchen Nightmares excursions, Ramsay was trying out some food from another nightmarish restaurant. He ordered a pizza, but what he got was
The strangest pizza I've ever seen.
This thing was a masterpiece of flops. The cheese was congealed and it looked as though someone had dropped some craft glue all over it.
That is a ranch sauce.
So they put a ranch dressing on the pizza.
To make matters worse, the dressing had become a sort of paste in the oven and looked extremely unappetizing. The rest of the food was not much better. In fact, it was so bad that when he saw someone who had ordered the same thing from him, a group of priests out for lunch, He had to save them from the taste. He swooped to their taste buds' rescue and apologized with the eloquent words of,
Forgive me, Father, but they have sinned, and I, out of respect for you guys, you're not going to eat that, okay?
Pizza Recipe Challenge. What is your favorite Ramsay show? Ours is The F Word. Ramsay does a lot on that show, but our favorite part has to be his celebrity guests. During one episode, he invited the incomparable Johnny Vegas to a recipe challenge. They have to make the same dish using their own recipes. People will taste it and decide who won the challenge. We admit that we were relating with Johnny during this episode, because he basically says what he is thinking all the time. The man has no filter, and it is wonderful. When the men were mixing their dough, Johnny put it in the mixer, and Ramsay jokingly accused Johnny of cheating.
But you're not actually making your own pizza dough, you're putting it together, the machine's making it for you.
No, it's not. What is
Cheating
for me? Is it bollocks?
Cheating
What followed was a hilarious roasting, and not the cooking kind.
So what are you using in her garden? Is it a machine?
This is
Is it a machine? Is it a machine?
In the end, we don't remember who won the challenge, but
Vegas. I did it! Sorry.
but rather the fantastic humor of Mr. Vegas. Seriously, Ramsay should host more comedians. They just make everything better. That, and it was nice to see Ramsay speechless for once. After all, he is funny, and he is not Johnny Vegas funny. The pizzas did look delicious, though.
People have a choice in this world.
Dough tossing lessons. Back to Kitchen Nightmares again. This time, Ramsay was relaunching a restaurant called Sebastian's. They had the nasty little habit of buying frozen and pre-packaged food. This was a bad idea all around. They also had some stylish pizza ovens that they use for a display. These guys have no idea about food, do they?
Sebastian's, yes, needs to become known for one thing and one thing only. Fresh pizzas.
Ramsay suggested that they start making their own dough and let people watch as they tossed the dough. He then gathered all the cooks and taught them how to toss pizza. The manager and head chef complained that she would have to cut her nails. Pause for a moment and reflect on the fact that a professional was cooking food with a long manicure. But otherwise, everyone seemed up for the task. Sounds fun. Ramsay managed to turn them all into professional tossers. How would they have been able to become such expert tossers without him? Chocolate bacon pizza. We should have something called the bad idea alert. We're thinking of a built-in alarm system that blares when you have a bad idea about food so that you don't have to make people taste it. So it is a special sort of crime when you sit down in a classy establishment, hand over your hard-earned cash, and receive something you would not even feed your dog. This time, Ramsay was visiting a hotel and looking where he could fix things.
How would you rate the food out of 10?
6.
6.
I wouldn't serve any of our dishes to my dog.
That was not even subtle foreshadowing. That was flat out telling him to just get to work already. Gordon realized this after he tasted the appetizer.
So dry.
Yeah.
I mean, really dry.
That's actually better than usual.
Really?
But the point was driven home when he was served a dessert pizza that featured chocolate and bacon.
It's like we've had a crisis with the toilet paper department. Someone's wiped their ass with my dough.
Nevertheless, he was brave and took a large bite from the pizza. Seriously, that is such a waste of two beautiful things. We get the intent behind it, but this is exactly the sort of travesty that a bad idea alarm would have prevented. Gordon Ramsay tries pineapple pizza. Have you ever made a promise that you immediately regretted? If you have, then you can relate to how Ramsay was feeling in this video.
Oh, come on, guys.
He promised his fans that if they helped him to raise enough money for charity, then he would eat a pineapple pizza. Many defended pineapple pizza and claimed that maybe if he would try it, he would like it. Spoiler alert!
Oh, yeah!
He was not impressed, and he kept stalling, but eventually he could not get over the fact that he had to eat the pizza. The poor guy took a big mouthful, and then spat it out. He claimed that the only thing Hawaiian about it
is the fact that I'd love to drop it in the ocean.
Then proceeded to tell us what he liked to do with pineapple. And we have to admit that he has a point.
Pineapple's a fruit. It needs to be roasted with vanilla and served with the most amazing coconut ice cream.
Is anyone else really hungry right about now? Unfortunately for Ramsay, he could not get off that easy and had to eat another bite. This time, he was not allowed to spit it out. But he got the last laugh because he brought a bottle of mouthwash with him. When he was done, he gargled half the bottle to cleanse his refined taste buds. You do you, Chef Ramsay. You do you.
It's an Italian tragedy. At least Romeo and Juliet had a happy ending.
Fresh pizza taste test.
Can we tell the difference between fresh and frozen food?
It is no secret that frozen pizzas are not as good as fresh pizzas. During one Kitchen Nightmares episode, Ramsay takes the chef aside and has him make a pizza. Then he has the owners taste one frozen and one fresh pizza. He then asks them to choose a pizza.
I was shocked when Chef Ramsay told me the one pizza was frozen because I thought it tasted a lot like our pizza we had.
In one fell swoop, Ramsay taught the owners a lesson and boosted the chef's confidence. It really is amazing how protective Ramsay is of chefs. A restaurant only runs smoothly when everyone sticks to what they're good at. A good chef means the difference between a failure and a success. And to think, they got all of that from the humble pizza. We swear that pizza could probably solve a lot of the world's problems.
Who's the chef of this place?
I guess I am now.
That's right, eh?
Record-breaking pizza dough. You may not know this, but there is a Guinness World Record for the largest tossed pizza dough. And being the winner that he is, Ramsay decided that it was time for that record to be broken. Not by him, of course, but by another chef. In the 9th episode of The F Word, Ramsay gathered a crowd and set the stage.
You'll have 1 minute, Joe, using only your hands. And if there's any holes, they need to be patched before that minute is up.
The man started his timer, the chef began working on the dough, and Ramsay was jumping around like an excited kid yelling encouragement. And finally, the time was finished and the chef had to stand back. Everyone, including us, watched with bated breath as the man measured the dough. The result?
Joe, the mark to beat was 42 centimeters. You had 72. It's a new Guinness World Record.
The crowd went wild and he received a fancy certificate while Ramsay threw flour all over the winner. Did you enjoy this video full of Ramsay and pizza? If so, order pizza, leave us a like, don't forget to subscribe, and click the gray notification bell. Bye now!